Alak-Hul the Darkblade was one of the most pivotal strike bosses back in Destiny 1. An epic character design, dark tomb, and jump scares when he teleports around the room. If you played Witch Queen, spoilers, he's back, and today we're going to dive into the entire story of this insane Darkblade. From the Hellmouth and his mate Varrock to the Dreadnought in Savathun's throne world, you won't want to miss this story. Long ago, Eris Morn and her fire team would venture down into the pit on the moon to find the god leading the Hive, Crota. Crota was responsible for killing thousands of guardians and had a pretty powerful presence in our solar system, wanting to use the moon as a launch point to invade Earth.
6 of us went down into the pit. Only one crawled out. I am Eris, the last. I have seen what the Hive call a god. Crota, son of Oryx. He took everything from me. He will turn his eyes to Earth. And only a true weapon of the light can stop his wrath.
Ariana 3, Eris Morn, Tolan the Shattered, Saimoda, Omar Aga, and Vel Tarlo made their way into the depths of the moon, and from there, we know how this story goes. Eris was the only one to climb out of this pit and make her way back to the tower in the dark below, and from there, our Hive adventures would increase progressively. In that pit on the moon though is where our tale begins with Alak-Hul and his consort. Among the swarms of thrall and acolytes surrounding Eris's fire team was a towering knight, a foster son to the taken king Oryx and his wizard mate known as Varrock. This wizard Varrock led an attack in the Hellmouth targeting Titan Vel Tarlo, which would lead to his end at the hands of the Darkblade. We called her Varrock. It was her and her thrall that finally overwhelmed him. From a median point, Alak-Hul tossed back his head and defied me, saying, "Oryx gave me no task, therefore I must task myself with Oryx's ending." So I slew him and buried him close to me, rejoicing in the success of his great, secret task. To be as the sword, keen, hungry, cyclical, ontological. That was the task I gave to Alak-Hul, O sharp-edged Darkblade, O beloved foster son. After some time fighting under Oryx as this foster son, the couple of the Darkblade and the wizard would decide they wanted to rebel. Alak-Hul believed he could do so much more, be a better leader than Oryx ever was, and command his own army. In a Game Informer article around the Taken King's time, it said this: "The Hive once had some sort of civil war, and Alak-Hul the Darkblade led the rebellion against Oryx, along with his consort Varrock. When the Taken King finally defeated Alak-Hul, he imprisoned him within his sunless cell for all eternity." Now that was kind of paraphrased, and we don't have much actual lore in the game as to why Alak-Hul wanted to rebel, but this makes complete sense. Varrock and the Darkblade rose up and chose to fight a mini-civil war in an attempt to gain power. Alak-Hul wanted to impress Varrock and didn't believe the path Oryx laid out for him was the right one, saying that Oryx wanted him to become keen, hungry, cyclical, and ontological, but he wasn't having it. In the end, Oryx defeated the Darkblade and sent him to the sunless cell on the Dreadnought where he would wait in darkness. The whereabouts of the wizard Varrock are unknown. Fast forward to the Taken King. Our Guardian breaches the Dreadnought, kills the King and Oryx, and the scene is now set. Eris Morn sends us to take out the Darkblade so he doesn't attempt to rise up to power once again now that Oryx is gone. That would obviously be pretty bad.
Some creatures of the Hive strain against the will of Oryx. Alak-Hul, the Darkblade, is one such. Long ago, he fomented rebellion against the king and attempted to take his mantle. Alak-Hul failed, and now awaits the mercy of the Hive. Given the chance, the Darkblade will step in to take Oryx's crown. We must not allow another prince to rise. The Darkblade suffers his judgment in the depths of a Hive prison. I am feeding an energy marker to your ghost. It will lead you to his cell.
Harris, why does Oryx have a prison?
Prison is the wrong term. He holds his victims, tortures them, then renders them down into chitin for his ships.
The Darkblade fight is one of the most unique encounters in the game in my opinion. The area is in complete darkness aside from the middle area with this hazy light, and all you can hear is the lumbering footsteps and sounds of the beast as it tracks you throughout the play space. Oh yeah, he can also teleport and go invisible, so there's the jump scares.
Nothing left now but the drop.
Alak-Hul, he is hunting you.
We've seen other Darkblade-looking knights since, but Alak-Hul had some chosen powers as this foster son that really would shine in the Strike's boss battle. In the end, the Darkblade was defeated, and his tomb would remain in silence.
His dark soul goes screaming into the pit between the stars. With none left to lead in Oryx's wake, the Taken will languish, decay, but they will not die away. You have given us time. Time to recover, to bury the dead, and make ready for the next shadow on the horizon.
During the Witch Queen campaign, we are sent out to a temple of Oryx housed in Savathun's throne world, a monument to the Taken King and brother of Savathun. Finch tells us that this place might give us some info on the Lucent Brood.
The tip. Ever heard of Oryx? The Taken King? Savathun's brother? Yeah. Okay, I thought so. Savathun's got a temple dedicated to him.
The temple to Oryx is protected by one of Savathun's toughest warriors. Guarding something you can use like you use Sagira's shell.
Right off the bat, if you didn't realize it in the name, we see Alak-Hul has returned as the Lightblade, guarding the entrance path towards Oryx's temple. This isn't really explained too much in depth, but we can obviously see that he was resurrected by a ghost, so either Savathun went to reclaim his body from the Dreadnought, or a ghost made the venture on its own. Either way though, the Lightblade now works for the Lucent Brood and Savathun guarding this temple of Oryx. It's actually quite ironic that he's guarding this given he tried to rebel against Oryx all that time ago, but here he now stands with his sister fighting on her side. In the Lightblade strike, we race throughout the throne world to gain the Tablet of Ruin memory and face off against the Lightblade at the end. During the boss battle, the Lightblade is defeated, but his ghost manages to escape, most likely to explain how you can replay the strike over and over again, but lore-wise, I guess Alak-Hul could still come back in the future just like Savathun can.
Finch, you were right. We found something. It's a piece of the Tablets of Ruin. The tablets Oryx used to create Taken.
I was right. I was right. I knew it. I knew the Taken were involved somehow.
Alak-Hul's ghost got away. It just left his body here.
Contingency plan. They're learning. Trying to stay a step ahead of you. But you got the tablet. That's the important part. That gets us one step closer to taking down the Witch Queen.
Alak-Hul was a great character. The lumbering Darkblade axe, teleporting capabilities in the dark sunless tomb, then converted to a light-filled bright environment with arc abilities and his own ghost. Sometimes you might get tired of characters returning, Taniks, but others can be refreshing and add a nice twist to the overall story of the universe. Anyway, Guardians, I hope you enjoyed today's video on Alak-Hul, the Dark and Lightblade. If you'd like to see some more Destiny lore and mysteries just like this one, please be sure to subscribe to the channel. Anyway, I thank you very much for watching, and I'll catch you, Guardians, in the next one.